to Student News. This is your monthly briefing for June 2024. From celebrations to strikes, we have a lot to get into today, so let's get into the stories. At the start of the month, Coventry University planned an event to celebrate its undergraduate car design course by hosting an exhibition of students' work and inviting back many of the alumni who had previously completed the course. The event is ongoing and ends on the 28th of June. Also this month, Buckinghamshire New University announced its plans to overhaul one of the university's main buildings with planning permission to do so. The university has said they plan to stay open throughout the building project, but safety, security and the well-being of students and staff and visitors is absolutely paramount. A 58-year-old lady in Somerset, England, named Angela, has been accepted to 2 different universities after putting off the idea for many years as she was told she did not have the right qualifications. However, over the last few months, Angela has had classes to obtain her GCSE in mathematics, which we now know she has passed and thus has been accepted to the universities. The University of Warwick opened its new clinical anatomy and clinical skills factory this month, building to give students training for a medical profession a mock hospital for them to work in and learn. The new facility cost the university £4.2 million. Staff at the University of Lincoln, as well as Sheffield Hallam University, have voted to strike out of fears over potential job cuts. This comes as a result of the universities announcing their plans to cut 220 jobs at Lincoln and 400 at Sheffield. The University of Hull are also facing job cuts in the amount of 150 jobs as part of the university's plans to make savings of £23 million. However, as of now, staff have not agreed to any strike action. Leeds University Union cancelled the student summer ball because of the pro-Palestinian protest encampment. This is because the plans were to have the ball outside where the encampment is currently located. With over 50 tents set up, the union have stated it would be logistically impossible to hold the event there. The union instead chose to host a different event called a summer party elsewhere, calling it a compromise. However, students in the encampment stated no compromise would be needed if the university and the union engaged in meaningful discussions with the protesters. Oxford University have shown in their annual admissions report that students from public schools are still much less likely to go to uni than those from private schools. Publicly educated students make up 93% of the general population of students, but only 67.6% of students accepted to university, and an even lower proportion of Oxford's own students at only 62.3%. A medical student named Nabil Khan at the University of Exeter was awarded the American Medical Student Association Racial Justice Award. She is the first ever British student to receive the award. Ms. Khan received the award for her Very Junior Doctor podcast and her Skin for All website, which she uses to promote diversity and equality while empowering other medical students to stand up against injustice and inequality. Birmingham University has requested a court order to put an end to the pro-Palestinian encampment on its land. This comes after attempts to discuss terms with protesters broke down, as students were demanding that their demands must be met before discussions could ever begin. On top of this, a staff member has said that the protesters' behaviour has crossed the line into the unacceptable now, describing mask-wearing groups shouting at and harassing staff members as well as vandalising buildings with spray paint. After losing most of her sight due to Stargardt disease, a Bristol architecture student named Rhiannon Enel has been inspired to focus her works on redesigning spaces to be more inclusive and accessible for all. As part of this new mission, she has created a redesign for part of the Bristol Harbour. The University of Oxford was forced to cancel some of its exams due to some examination buildings being occupied by protesters. Police were called to the university in order to deal with the protesters, marking it the second time that Oxford University have contacted the police for the same matter. However, this time no arrests have been made as of yet. A sapling from a tree that survived the atomic bombing of Hiroshima at the end of World War II has been planted at the University of Bradford as a symbol of the university's commitment to peace and the abolition of nuclear weaponry. Henley Business School at Reading University hosted an event for pre-GCSE age girls aimed at getting more women interested in jobs in the financial sector. The industry has been traditionally male-dominated, and women have had an especially hard time obtaining jobs, so the Reading Careers team thought it best to try to get girls interested in the sector early on so they can take specific GCSE and A-level options that will allow them to have greater success in this field. And finally, Newcastle University have threatened legal action against protesting students in the pro-Palestinian encampment if they do not leave the university premises. This comes due to reports that the students have gone from peaceful protest to disruptive activism in recent weeks. The university stated that the encampment is now affecting people unrelated to the university itself, which means it has to go. On top of this, some students in the university's Jewish Society said they avoid walking past the protesters and at times feel terrified. This is obviously unnecessarily disruptive to the lives of individuals who do not have any control over the university's choices and is as such unfair to the people affected. But that's all we have time for today, so I hope this has been informative. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date with all of the student news. But until next time, remember to stay educated.